All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the session of Firewise 101, including the educational portion and the office hours. My name is Jennifer Valadez. I'm the project manager for Fire Safe Council for Monterey County. And today's session, after our renewal workshops and our last session in October, I just wanted to do a general meeting, kind of open it up to any questions and kind of go at an overview now that we've done sort of the series, including the FAQ, introduction, risk assessment, action plan, renewals, etc. So yeah, today's session will be very general. So I like to start with some housekeeping before we dive in. So as I mentioned before we started recording, the monthly sessions are posted on YouTube and they're recorded. We have office hours at the end of every session. And we have Instagram at firesafe_Monterey, where you can keep up to date with any events that we'll be attending, any community events, any events that we host as well. Speaking of events, there are a couple coming up towards the end of this month. So later this evening, Rancho Ramitas Firewise will be hosting their meeting at the Aromas Grange at 6:30. On the 17th, North Monterey County Firewise leaders will be having their meeting, but it is invite only. Just wanted to mention that. Fire Safe Council will host the Monterey Bay Firewise Partners Forum on the Community Wildfire Protection Plan on the 19th. So next Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. over Zoom. We also have our board meeting at CAL FIRE Dispatch Center and on Zoom next Thursday before the holidays. And nothing for the Thanksgiving week. And we have a smaller group today, so if you want to ask your questions as they come up, then feel free to do so. As I mentioned before, also we started recording. Turn off your camera if you would not like to be recorded. I also have a post-meeting survey that pops up after you leave the meeting / after I end the meeting, which is completely optional, but really appreciated to form these sessions and get any resources out to Firewise communities. Also for office hours, again, we have a smaller group today. So if you would like to just go ahead and put your questions in the chat or use the hand raise feature to do so, please. Remember to be mindful of everyone's time. It's only until 3 today, so that in mind. Little overview of what we'll be going over. I like to do a pre-meeting survey too to see where everyone's at. I'll cover the community roles, the 6 steps to Firewise recognition, which I usually go over anyways. And then reviewing the renewal handout if you haven't seen it already, and then we'll just close off with some office hours. So I will launch the pre-meeting survey now and see where everyone's at. Also completely optional, but really appreciated informing these sessions. Since this is a general meeting, just to see where questions are sort of going to align or where comments will be coming from. So yeah, give you some time. Okay, I see people have some questions on just what Firewise is in general, renewal application questions as well.
I need to know if you are so legally accountable.
Um, Give one more minute. No need to answer this either. All right, we have a few that are already Firewise USA recognized. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna end this poll and then we can just move on. Thanks everyone who answered it, and no pressure on if you didn't. So I want to go over the community roles as we're going into next year. If people are looking at becoming a Firewise USA or just kind of reviewing their structure as well. So the Fire Safe Council is here to provide guidance on this program, offer some educational opportunities such as attending our board meetings, attending the Monterey Bay Firewise Partners Program or Forum. It is a program from the National Fire Protection Association. It is not a program specific to Fire Safe Councils or Fire Safe Council for Monterey County, but the program's mission really strongly aligns with ours and is a key component in community mobilization since it is focused on neighborhoods, on smaller pockets across the county that can do stronger, one-on-one and neighbor events, education, etc. It's a closer knit program than a Fire Safe Council. So it identifies community needs for grant applications and initiative. Fire Safe Council really takes into account what Firewise USA communities needs are. And we like to incorporate this in any grant applications or initiatives or future programs that we like to lead. Fire authorities are also a great resource for Firewise USA communities. They can assist in risk assessments. They also do their own events such as open houses. They could come to a Firewise USA event and speak as well. And it is generally just good to build a partnership with fire authorities who can provide wildfire expertise. And Firewise USA has been specifically identified as a part of the California wildfire preparedness strategy. So it is really enforced or, supported by CAL FIRE and fire authorities across California. And from the residents' point of view, it's really leading the Firewise USA resiliency efforts, working on communicating with neighbors to get involved, working on the steps for Firewise, and also reaching out to us whenever there's a question or assistance that you might need in the process. So the 6 key steps, this is very summarized version of becoming Firewise or Firewise recognized. So forming a committee or board with 3 to 5 community members, completing a risk assessment with the fire authority or with your community. We have a great YouTube video based on this session or based in the session that also provides a sheet where you can just go through with your board members and complete a risk assessment, completely community-based, no need to wait for a fire authority to come do that. Also creating a site map to kind of outline the boundaries that your community wants to focus on, either it be the homes or any adjacent vegetation that you would like to remove. Completing a 3-year action plan. This is the one that's more specific to California and CAL FIRE. And it requires using a specific template that's linked here. And also we have another video that kind of focuses on how to complete this. Recording and reporting any wildfire risk reduction activities and vegetation removed. So let's say that your community hired a chipper to remove all that vegetation, then any tonnage that was removed, any monetary investments, as well if you have a landscaper that comes in and removes any vegetation, mows, etc., that's also considered a wildfire risk reduction activity. So you're removing all that fuel around your home. And there's also other ways that would count as well, which is outlined here by the NFPA Firewise USA program. Yeah, attendance to evacuation/preparedness training. This could be attending Carmel Prepares, etc. Hosting an annual outreach event as well. It could be an HOA meeting that's focused on wildfire, or it could be a fire authority coming in and speaking with just your community members. And also, final step would to be filling in that portal and that final application to submit for recognition. So I wanted to summarize the tools that Fire Safe Council has for Firewise communities. So recently, we had put all our videos, or the archive that we had for Firewise 101 onto YouTube. So here's what our page should look like when you move on to it. So we have site mapping, the first session that was on in-depth introduction and any frequently asked questions that come up when someone's applying to be Firewise recognized. We also have a tutorial on creating a newsletter for your Firewise community. As before mentioned, also creating a risk assessment. The latest ones would be on the California 3-year action plan. That one can get a little bit confusing. You see it has some of the most views on there. Also going through the webpage. I also wanted to highlight our last renewal workshops. So this first one, that was about 2 weeks ago, had some issues with the audio. So I encourage you to watch the renewal workshop 2 that had some better audio. It's the same information, but had a little bit better quality. We've also hosted the Monterey Bay Firewise Partners Forum with some really great speakers here. We have some from the Wildfire Interdisciplinary Research Center, local Firewise communities, the Air Resources District, etc. The Department of Emergency Management as well came to hopped on Zoom and talked with us. So this is also a good session if you would like some more information. Or if you would want to host a Firewise meeting where you all, kind of watch this forum too, or watch a snippet, that's also would be a time expended within your community. And we also have the Monterey Bay Firewise Partners Forum if you would like to join. I believe here, it looks different on my end, but if you go to the Groups IO page for Monterey Bay Firewise Partners, there should be a button. It wouldn't be top hashtags for you, but it would be join group. It will send me an email and then I'll just approve you to join. Through here, someone has shared a 3-year action plan idea bank. I put some announcements for future meetings, sharing of any new legislation that's passed or any new updates. So it's a good resource if you have any questions or are looking for more information. Oh, as mentioned, our newsletter template tutorial as well, and the template is linked in that as well. So if any of you are here for Firewise renewal application questions, I'd want to direct you to this Google Doc that we've published on how to complete a Firewise USA renewal application. And it kind of details step by step what you should expect when you log into the portal and you look at your dashboard, you start the information. So I want to share this one actually in the chat, so it's easier for people to take home today or kind of save today, since I know the renewal application is due next Friday. So I suggest kind of looking at that. And there's some questions here that have been asked in the past, when should it be submitted, updating the dates on the 3-year action plan, etc. And yep, a reminder, they're due November 21st, next Friday. So if you have any pressing questions, either ask them now really try my best to either answer them live or find someone that could answer them before you have to submit that application. All right, so I want to open the floor now to see if anyone has any questions, any comments on the renewal process too. I know we've been getting notifications that people have been, or Firewise communities have been submitting. So it's great to see people motivated to renew for another year and continue this process since, we can experience some Firewise burnout, as, Pema said before, and we've mentioned. So yeah, if there's any questions, feel free to go off mute or put it in the chat. Also, has anyone here finished their renewal application if they're in a Firewise community? No, there's still about a week left. So. Okay. Oh, I see the comment from Margaret. Yeah, thanks. The renewal application handout is helpful. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Forest Grow completed and been approved. So that's good to see that they're, CAL FIRE and NFPA are moving those along before the deadline. Yeah, Del Mesa Carmel submitted the 3-year renewal this week. So, good luck on that one. So I know the Idea Bank, waiting to hear if it has been approved. Yeah, has the Idea Bank that was shared here been helpful? Because I know there could be some, kind of questions on how can we kind of not reinvent the 3-year action plan, but after those 3 years, what else can a community do to expand their efforts? Creating a website. I know this one's was pretty interesting with the, this is on the Monterey Firewise partners. I think I can share it here. It's just a PDF, but I'm not sure if they have been, or it has been updated. Home hardening goals, giving some, collaborative gravel, local business, collaborating. I know North County has been collaborating with Ace Hardware, which is local. It's a locally owned in the Prunedale area, where they actually hosted an event earlier in May, which was, a great event. They stayed in contact with people they met at that event, and one of them actually became Firewise. So that's actually super great. And, it came out to be a good partnership. Yeah, there's plenty of ideas here. Defensible space, fuel reduction. Yeah, I always like to, every time we talk about the defensible space or fuel reduction in the 3-year action plan, I like to highlight this point that in this section, you could refer to maintaining defensible space or vegetation management projects, just because in the state of California, defensible space is already in law. So you like to kind of get that language clear. So it just doesn't kick back when you submit it to CAL FIRE or NFPA. So I like to highlight this. I'm not too sure when it will be offered again, but sending community members to the CAL FIRE DSA training. Usually, I think it is board members of the Firewise community. It is free 2-day training. So I think typically over the weekend, and last time it was offered in July. where you can get training on defensible space assessments, and then you could do those within your community and get more people informed on the ember resistant zone or zone 0. Yeah, the Central Coast Prescribed Burn Association also is in Monterey County. If you'd like to contact with them too about doing a prescribed burn or demonstration. I know also the University of California Cooperative Extension, the person there, Barb Sestic, does pile burning with North Monterey County or Spanish Bit, and they usually do it in December. So that's good to coordinate with them too if you'd like to do something similar, or if pile burning is applicable to your community and how to do that safely. Yeah, some points here on evacuation planning and checking out the Project Genesis Know Your Zone for evacuation warnings and know how to identify your evacuation zone when you get those alerts through Alert Monterey or Watch Duty or all those different alert systems or alert apps that you might have. Yeah. Welcome.
Why am I here?
Has the renewal application this year, it should be the same as last year, but has it been a little bit easier to approach with the workshops and the handout, or was the process similar to other previous times? I see if there's a question, if there's anyone from Mesa Hills West. Not sure if there is. Yeah, no worries. Just wondering if my HOA is represented. Okay.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Quick question for the group here. I know from which Firewise community most people come from, but it would be very helpful if you could just drop into the chat, who you are and which Firewise community, excuse me, you are involved with. It would be nice to see that. And if you're new working on it, that's great. Laura, there we go.
I see. Well, I know Margaret has already put in the chat that Forest Grove HOA is represented. Jacqueline has said that Del Mesa Carmel.
And I see Laura Crude just signed in that she is Mesa Hills West.
Oh, I see.
I understand that is an HOA, good, not formally Firewise. Good. Okay. So I also have a question, Jennifer, if I might ask the group. For those of you who have been Firewise for a while, and you are finding that other residents who were not originally in your Firewise group but are close enough to be part of it, or do you find that there are additional people who are interested? And have you attempted to enlarge your Firewise group to include them or not? And if you have you had any difficulties attempting to do that? And if there are no answers to that, I'm assuming everyone is status quo where they are. Just that we have had one or two of our Firewise groups that have really been active for a couple of years have had an issue trying to enlarge their Firewise group to include other interested parties rather than have to have them start a separate Firewise group adjacent to theirs. So just a general question.
Okay.
So I see Bob Vitale is on the call as well. And Bob, I think you are renewing this year your application. Is that correct? And how are you doing with reaching out to the community? Is communication still an issue, or is that getting resolved for you? Oh, sorry. Guess he's busy on something else then.
Fine. Don't actually know which Firewise group I'm a part of to understand more about what is going on at the community level to improve fire safety.
So Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay, Firewise group and part of it. It's good. So I did, while you were moving forward, I did put an email out to Luis Perez, who is the inspector, the DSA inspector for CAL FIRE. And he says that because I asked him if the DSA training might be offered again, particularly for new Firewise groups or members or people who'd like to take it. And he says Sacramento is already getting requests for the next year to help me. And he's, I guess, looking for help to get a list going. And we will ask to put us on their calendar. So I think if we get a list of people who are interested in it, and give it to CAL FIRE, they will see about scheduling for our area again, which would be very nice.
Yeah. I know that program has taken off pretty well. Not just in Monterey, but Santa Cruz as well, Santa Clara. So we could look about Laura's question. We could look on the Firewise NFPA map, which sometimes might not be the most accurate. It doesn't get the most current. I think they update it twice a year or after renewals. So I want to share here. You might be able to see any local Firewise communities. Go here. I can share this in the chat as well for you to look at. If we look at Monterey County, there are quite a bit in Carmel Valley.
Boots Road Firewise.
Yeah, so this is around the Big Sur area. Santa Lucia Preserve. This one's actually pretty new in October, so it's good to see that they got it updated. Here, Ranch House, HOA, just kind of gives a general pinpoint to where the community is. And I know I've been wanting some updates to this since a lot of comments were coming in about how fast or how quick they're seeing. Seems like we're in Boots Road. Let me see. Boots Road.
Laura, what road is Mesa Hills West off of? Is that 68 area?
Hi, yes, it is off Highway 68. I see the little marking on the map that
Yeah,
I think that.
you're, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Boots
Yeah,
Road,
it's
I think is,
down from Saddle Road. That's it. You're right near it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the closest would be Boots Road, Vista del Toro, Quintana Homeowners Association, and this might be so it's good. There's quite a lot in the Carmel Valley area or off Highway 68. So there's a good group around there that are pretty active. So if you want more information on how Boots Road is like, then I can put you into contact with the person who is their resident leader. And yeah, we can see.
Okay, that's great. I'm looking at an old email. Looks like it was Neil Glover, but this is from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's still Neil down
Okay,
there. Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm. Oops.
Are you close to, I think there are two Hidden Hills, not to be confused with the one in North Monterey County. Are you close to Hidden Hills in that area?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some overlap. I'm not sure how
Yeah.
big each one is, but since here that's only like the general can drop. Some might be bigger
And,
boundaries than
yeah.
others. So
And Quintana comes up from Carmel Valley Road rather than 68, down from 68. Their access is from the south up.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Laura, I guess you are interested, your group is interested in becoming Firewise and
I think we already are. I only heard about it. We get an email from our HOA that says that surveys us on like how much we've spent on weed removal and stuff like that.
it could just be the HOA. I mean, very often the HOAs will do that independently without being tied to a Firewise organization, but
Okay.
that's
Well, they said
something
that it's
definitely
to
to
get
look
our
into.
Firewise certificate is what they, yeah. It came from the president Boots Road Firewise community, Neil Glover.
Oh, well, then you may well be included in their
yeah.
larger Boots Road. Easy enough for us to find out now that we know. It could well be Boots Road, which included that. Mesa Hills, actually, you are included in the Boots Road now that I know where you are. So you come up Boots Road, and Boots Road, theoretically, after I guess it's sort of like the bus stop kiosk,
Yeah, it's
goes
all here.
off to the left, and Mesa Hills West goes off to the right, correct? And looks back over Carmel Valley. Okay, you are definitely included in the Boots Road Firewise. And Bob Seidel
Yeah, I know
is
Bob. He's my
very
neighbor.
active with that.
Oh,
And
good for Bob.
probably be an excellent person for you to contact if you're looking for more information about that organization, that Firewise group. He normally attends a lot of these,
Yeah.
not all of them, but some of them. But if you would like his information as well, we'd be happy to provide that for you.
Oh,
But
I know Bob.
okay, he would be a good person to talk to about your area of Firewise.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Helps to know where you are. I'm sorry, I just doesn't quite always pop into my head, but yeah. But you definitely are Firewise. So I'm not sure, I don't have the list. Jennifer usually has track of that, whether you should be doing an annual renewal this year. I think you're past your
Yeah. And
grace
that's probably
period.
why they're asking for the vegetation removed. That's part of the questions
Yeah,
to see for those investments. So
yeah, yeah. So they're going through their renewal too. Okay.
well,
So I see Jacqueline, we know, Bob Vitale, we know. Roger is new to me. Jennifer, you may know where he is. So Roger, are you in a acknowledged Firewise community, or are you interested in becoming a Firewise community, or are you here for renewals? Love to know.
No, well, we own a condo in Pebble Beach
Ah,
in
okay.
Ocean Pines.
Okay.
And I know your group did a presentation to the HOA there, but no, I'm just trying to find out some information.
Okay. Well,
I don't think Ocean Pines, they aren't registered, are they?
I don't think so.
not yet, but I know we have
Yeah.
quite a bit of support from the CAL FIRE battalion chief there, Frank Espinoza. He is interested in putting a circle around all of Pebble Beach
Yeah.
and making you one large Firewise group. There is interest individually from some of the the roads that run through that area. So we'd be very interested in working with your group if you're interested in giving you some more information and making sure that your CAL FIRE people are there to assist you with any information you might need as well.
Yeah, I think you need to go through the HOA. I'm just the
Yep.
owner. So, yeah, I mean, there needs to, when was the pig fire?
Oh, God.
It got up to the condo area. In fact, one of the garage roofs next to our condo, buildings caught fire, but it was put out by the grounds by the
Mhm.
garage. So
Mhm. Mhm. Well, that's scary enough.
yeah, well, it at least we got to see the ocean. We're on the first floor, so we got to see the ocean for about 10 years till it grew up again. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the conditions then
Mhm.
seem to be, the things have grown, the vegetation has grown up again. So it
Mhm.
just seems that the conditions for another major fire are still there.
Yeah. I know Pebble Beach is working extremely hard on managing the fuels growth in there, and they have I think it's Captain J.D. Trenner has been working very hard on that, bringing in the goats, doing fuel reduction work with a number of different crews, but it's a very large area, and you do have some restrictions as opposed to what can and cannot be done. And I know that the desire is there, but it's not always easily, the situation's not always easily remedied. But I know that they are quite amenable to speaking to members of the community about the Firewise program. So be happy to talk to your group. I say we, and I'm saying, well,
I
Jennifer, I'm
think just
pointing at Jennifer.
recently, there's been one new community around the Pebble Beach area. I'm not sure about where they lie, but
Mhm.
they call themselves Upper Forest Firewise.
Mhm.
That might be able to, if you probably know the area a little bit better than I do, kind of situate where they might be. And they just
Well,
got their
yeah.
recognition last Friday, I think, or earlier this week. So yeah, it was good
Yeah.
to see, around the Pebble Beach area.
Well, I think your group gave a presentation to the Ocean Pines HOA board. So
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I remember with yeah. So
it seems it was more of a money issue, like a lot of things.
yeah.
Well, you bring up a good point. You're absolutely right. The Firewise program is unfunded. We are always working on trying to find funds to assist our Firewise, any of our communities. We don't just do Firewise, of course, but any of our communities to help with the fuel reduction work, whether it's for defensible space or, road clearing or even advice on home hardening. But yeah, it would be wonderful if we could somehow get this program funding to help all of the communities who are in the program actually do the work that they should be doing without, the difficulties that face them sometimes. But yeah.
Well, I think I see one more comment I haven't seen. Oh, Margaret, comment on Morse Fire 1987. Maybe,
Yeah.
might be. So yeah, well, thank you everyone for joining. I think today we can have a shorter session. Thank you all for joining. As I mentioned, there's a post-meeting survey that is completely optional after I end the session. I wanted to also highlight my email and also the Firewise Regional Coordinator's email. I'll put them in the chat if you want to save it. genv.fscmc@gmail. I tried to respond pretty quickly to get if there are any pressing questions, or if I know the answer, or I try to get the answer from someone who will know the answer or can, steer someone in the right direction. So also we have our general email for any other questions. If you'd like to join our newsletter too, you can. So yeah, thank you all for joining. I'll stop the recording now.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Mhm.